Hi, it's Camaro with JLT Performance, and today we're going to be installing our intake kit on the Camaro ZL1. Our intake kit comes with two different tubes. Today we're going to be installing the tube that works with the stock tune, but we also give you a ginormous 5-inch intake when you buy the kit. We have all the couplers to work with a 103mm throttle body or a 95, as well as going all the way down to the stock throttle body. Comes with a ginormous air filter, a box that seals to the lid. We'll dive right into the install. We're going to be using a T20 Torx, a Phillips head, and a flathead screwdriver. So first step is going to be removing or loosening the coupler on the throttle body. And right next to the throttle body, you have your PCV. So we'll disconnect that. It's just a button on the side. So we can even slide this off for now. Then our MAF sensor. This will be hard to see, but I'll show you once I get it off. There's a red tab. Slide the red tab out and depress the button. So there's the red tab. We'll do it again, or it doesn't actually let you do it again, but you pull it back. Then you just press this button to remove it. And then just remove the clip right here that's on the airbox as well. Now we can lift the intake kit up and out. And there's just one more little wire harness Christmas tree down here that you can pop off with your flathead. And we're going to save this intake kit because the first thing we're going to do when we get this on the table is use our T20 Torx to remove the MAF. Now after you remove these screws, I always recommend putting them back into the intake tube in case you ever need to find them again. Our intake kit comes with longer Phillips head bolts. Okay, now we're going to set this intake kit aside. The JLT intake tube. Then we have a MAF pad and a MAF gasket. So you can see there's a little edge on the gasket, and we'll match up that edge with the edge on the pad. And you can kind of see this is sloped as well, so that matches all up like that. And then we're going to get this installed into the JLT intake tube. Now we're going to use the included longer bolts to get the MAF secure. Next, we're going to be installing the smallest of the 3 couplers onto the intake tube. So the bigger side of the smaller step coupler goes onto the tube, and the smaller side will go onto the throttle body. Now we're ready to install the PCV fitting into the intake tube. So this is an MPT thread. Doesn't go all the way down. And I don't even use a tool when I do this because it's plastic crushing into aluminum. So it's as tight as you can by hand. Then you can take, if you want to, you can take a tool and just get another quarter or half turn out of it. You can see how many threads are still showing after it's properly installed. Now we're going to get the air box ready to be installed. The seal goes around the front scoop. This mates up with the OEM front scoop. And then this bracket gets secured just like this with bolts from the inside going out. You might have welded on nuts, make it even a little bit easier. Today we have these loose nuts. Now we're going to be installing the JLT air filter. So this goes in from the inside out. You can take the hose clamp off, but you can see there's a groove in the filter. That groove matches up with the flange on the box. So it pushes in like this, and you can work your way around the air filter, getting it all secure. this is what it looks like properly installed. And now the hose clamp. This hose clamp, we like having the head of the hose clamp right here facing up. The airbox is so big, it's really like the only space to get on it is right there. So now this is ready to be installed. Make sure to install the studs on the bottom of the box. Then all 3 of the OEM grommets are in the vehicle, and they didn't fall out when we were pulling out the OEM box, so we're gonna get these lined up. Now the airbox is installed. Now that the air filter airbox is installed, we'll be installing our intake tube. A little trick to this, at least what I like to do, is just pop up the box a little bit. Okay, now the tube is fully installed. Pushed onto the throttle body there. Reseat our box. Make sure the filter is all the way seated as well. Now we'll tighten up the clamps. Get all of our hose clamps tightened up. Now we'll get the crankcase quick connect onto the fitting. You might just need to push down a little bit to clear that radiator shroud right there. And lastly is our MAF sensor. So track down the MAF sensor. Goes this way. And that's the installation of our intake kit for the Camaro ZL1. Thanks for watching, and let us know if you have any questions.